All right, you ready?
Dupe stand.
Yep. All right, welcome back to the third episode of Unveiling Jess. As you guys can see, I have my sister here today. Y'all, I am so excited. I booked this room at my job, so we're actually in a new setting, as you guys can see. So yeah, we're just gonna get into it. I don't really even have a itinerary or any specific topics that I'm trying to just get into. Just an all around conversation. You know how we do when we get to talking.
But we finna take it back.
Right. We gotta go back before we can go forward. Just so we can get the people
Just
that
way they can know. Yeah.
Like how we even came to be, how this
Yes.
relationship has survived almost how many years?
Ooh, child, it's over a decade now.
20?
Yeah. I would
We
have
met
to say,
each other when I
'cause
was-
I'm almost 30 now.
And
yeah.
I'm 20, about to be 28.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to start?
Yeah. Well, I mean, because we both moved. You moved before. You was in the neighborhood before I was.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I had moved
Yeah.
to DeSoto, from DeSoto, another part of DeSoto. I was about 8, turning 9,
Mhm.
and that is how we met. We
Yeah.
met, that was my next door
We
neighbor.
was in the same neighborhood, literally. We was in the same, and we were young, y'all. Like, young. How old was I? Think I was in 5th grade when I was over there.
Yeah.
I was in 5th grade when me and Jess met. And when I tell y'all the way that it just clicked, the way that it was like all the prayers that I was probably praying as a little girl to have, because I always wanted a sister. Like, I really always wanted a sister. And I always wanted someone to call my sis, you know? And so I used to always be asking God when I was a little girl, because I have a sister. I love my sister, but she just wasn't present, like, because of the fact of distance and stuff. And so when we moved over here, it was like, it was just so natural. It was so natural, sis. Like, oh my gosh. And y'all, baby, we done been through some things.
Y'all, we done
been through some things. I done went to bed before the save life now. Listen up.
Y'all,
Okay? Woo.
I look like the bigger one, but this is the one right here. Like, I was the more, like, in the background. She was the one, like, like, in your face.
Extroverted.
Yeah, she was the protector for sure.
Yes,
So,
because I don't know, it was just like it just came natural, like the way in which and when I love someone, like I genuinely love Jess. Like when I love someone, I want the best for her. I want God to continue to flourish in her life. It's imperative to have people around you that actually want to see you grow and not just, you know what I mean, watch the come up, but really hoping for your downfall type stuff.
Right.
And so for me, like, it just was always that with Jess, like, and I never judged. It was just always goofball. And that was another thing, like, I was able to be my true authentic self with you.
From day one.
It
was not like, oh, I need to feel her out.
Yeah, and figure out
or
who
like
you are.
I wondered, like literally we
Or I
met
can't
and we were
trust
like,
you.
it was like I met my sister.
Yeah.
Not like we were getting like.
Yeah, it was like
we just were
kindred spirits.
Yeah,
that's the best way to put it.
It's like we were just meeting for the first time, but we had already been connected in some other life.
Yeah, literally,
like
literally.
Yeah.
And that's the best way to explain. And if y'all know, if you know, you know. I know y'all have some friends that's literally, you can think of them right now while we talking about it. That's the same way. But that's what it was for me. And it's crazy because I kind of want to touch on like what life was like
then
for us, like before BC.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Let's talk about it.
Then,
I mean,
like,
let's be
AC,
real. Let's be real. Because I didn't know if you wanted to go there for
Oh,
real.
I'm for sure there.
Because, woo!
It don't. It's the deep breath for me. Oh my gosh, I'm for sure
I
there.
can just remember like, oh.
Do we want to go? Okay, we're going to do a story time. What are we doing?
I mean, it's so many stories.
It's a lot, y'all.
Which one?
Whew, child.
The most recent one?
What's the most recent?
Ooh, lit.
What's the
Oh, I don't even know, because I was in college, so that's embarrassing.
Wait.
You remember that time I literally, the thing is, I didn't even key you into this. I told my mama I was coming to your house, and I didn't even tell you
Mm.
that I was telling her that, because it was a lie.
Okay.
And I had snuck out to go be with Jay.
Oh,
And then she
okay.
had came to your house that morning looking for me, and you was like, Jess not here.
Oh.
That was one, and then your birthday was another one.
Ooh,
When me and
child.
Jamelia had came to your birthday, and my mama had ended up
Oh
coming
my
over there, and I
gosh,
was like,
girl,
you know how she felt about weave.
Yes.
We got some stories.
But we got some
more
major
than that, though,
stories.
like,
We have stories of like our first like love.
right. Oh my God, y'all. I thought I was so in love with that boy that lived on the street.
It was
you too, though.
Yeah, I did. There, you know how like when you younger, like you always have like that little crush that someone that's on the street. And baby, there was these two.
Cameron, Corbin, and D'Angelo.
Yes, that.
The fact that I just put their name.
I was like, whoops. Hey man, I pray y'all doing well. Literally. But no, for real though.
No last
that
names.
that was literally like, it was just so much fun.
It was so
much fun.
We stayed outside.
We would play. We was like kids, you know, literally together. And then we start evolving.
Yeah.
Together. So much so, like when we went to high school, people knew me. People knew Jessica like as my sis, like
right.
literally. When we went to high school, middle school, they knew her because that's like what I would make it known as.
Right.
And it's just so crazy to see how God has not only like put us, like evolved us over time from like little, because we were little girls to teenagers.
8 years old.
To, little girls, teenagers to grown women, you know? And so for me, like, I don't know, it's just such a blessing to see you, see us evolving, and just me as well, like, you know, where we are. Because, child, back then I was a
Did you ever
chip
think
off the old block
that you would be here in this, like,
in this moment?
Doing what you're doing now, moving how you're moving now, developing the mental structure that you're developing? Like, did you ever, like, at what age did you see yourself starting to become this person? And what kind of, like, drew you there?
I would honestly have to say the age that I thought I would be evolving into the woman I am today was very young. I thought I was going to be there at like 21, 23. I'm not going to hold you. Yes, because at 13, I was like, I know I want to be evolved. I know I want to have my own place. I know I want to have my own business. Like, I knew I wanted to always kind of like dibble and dabble into the entrepreneur world. I knew I wanted to take my relationship with God a whole lot more serious than what I was. At 13? Yes, because I was like, I always had, between the ages, I would say 13 to 15, I always had a desperation to want to be all of who God called me to be. I always had that. But the flesh was weak. You know what I mean? So it was like, so for me, so it was just kind of like, I thought when I was younger, like, ooh, when I hit 20, I was like, I'm going to be this influencer, this content creator, because I knew I wanted to do YouTube as well.
Right.
So I was like, I'm going to do this, I want to do that. And I was like, I'm going to help so many women. But I was doing all of this in my own strength, thinking like, oh, this is going to happen all through my strength. Like, oh, they're going to like you for your style. They're going to this, that, and the third. They're going to, you know, and it was just like, that was the surface level.
Yeah.
And that surface level is never going to be enough. Maybe that surface level.
It's just not.
Even in relationships. Ooh, we gotta touch on that too.
Where are we going?
It's
from the surface.
Seriously.
You gotta go deep.
Yeah.
You gotta go deep. That's crazy that you said 13. I don't think it really just hit me that I wasn't being fulfilled in just the mediocrity of what culture was saying was cool, or you know, the average. Like I was always popular.
Yeah.
Like, and not even just popular. I would say known.
Yeah.
I was always known.
Yeah.
So like. And that never did nothing for me. Like, I never.
But known how? For what way? Like, known for you? Because I know how people used to say they know my sister.
Like.
And it used to actually, I'm not going to hold you, it used to make me look at people differently. Because I was like.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So let's just get into it. So, like, as you may be able to.
That is my phone. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
Can I turn it off?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Go get it.
Oh,
she's gonna go turn her phone off, y'all. I mean, this is real time.
1 second. Give me 1 second.
This is real time, so no, you're good.
I know we'll be at work.
Girl, I thought that was something like playing over the intercom.
Okay, I'm sorry. Ooh, my bad, y'all.
Okay, y'all know she's back.
Okay, we're back now.
But no, like, as you may be able to see the physique, the body is body.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's giving, honey.
The microphone.
Oh, yes, thank you.
And for those that cannot see, we're in real time right now. So if you're watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see the dynamic of everything kind of changing. And then if you're just listening, just, you know, come along for the ride.
Okay.
But anywho, So yeah, the body has always been bodying, but in my mind, at such a young age, I never looked at myself like this thick girl.
Yeah.
Like you just grow up and you're built a certain way, and
that's how God
what
created
it is.
you. Yeah.
But everybody always referred to me as the girl with the big booty.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for a long time, it was just so irritating because that's what I did know. I always knew I was more than just my body.
Your physique.
I always had like good communication skills. I was always a really good friend. I was always the person that was like funny. Like I never really cared about an outer appearance. Like I always just drifted closer to people that were just real, genuine. And so that's pretty much what I was known for, just the big booty and whatever other stories that people made up or may have heard that I'd done or whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that was that. But God always knew that, baby, I was destined for so much more than just what met the eye.
And the beautiful thing about it is like when God purposely puts someone in your life, like I believe thoroughly that God placed me in your life as well.
Facts.
And when God puts someone in your life, they're not just seeing what's there. They're seeing what's ahead. And I remember I used to like literally know like, oh, God gonna do a whole fresh new thing with you, sis. Like even when I started taking my relationship serious with God, and I think sometimes when you see people really taking their relationship serious, you can tell that they're taking their relationship serious. Like you'll see the fruits.
Right.
And I remember, sis, even like, after the accident, like I just remember when I came over that one time and I was like, God is going to change your life with this. Like he's going to change your life. You was on the bed, you was chilling downstairs in the office where you normally would be. And I just remember like I kept reiterating that. And it was like the Spirit of God just kept having me let you know like, baby, your life is never going to be the same. Like, literally, and not in a way, like, to be like, oh, obviously, what's what we see, but, like, it was like, no, like, just, like, what God have for you, it's finna blow your mind type stuff. You know what I mean? And I also knew, like, that through the trial, God was going to deepen your relationship with him like you've never seen before. These were things I already knew.
That's a word.
Girl.
Yeah.
Literally.
She had spoken to me before I had even got there.
Yeah,
I was nowhere.
Mentally. Yeah.
I'm not gonna even say I was nowhere near there, but my mind at that moment was shut off.
Yeah.
Like it was so fresh, everything was so new. I was like a baby again trying to learn this new world that I had been thrusted into and didn't have a choice. So it's funny because I was talking to a fellow friend that's also shares the same physical status as myself, and she was like, it almost feels like a death, but you're
like something died,
like you're having to grieve,
you're grieving a life
of yourself.
Yes. Yeah.
And when she said it, it like took me back because I'm like, oh my God, that's such a horrible way to think about it. But in the moment, but then when I sat back and I let it resonate, and I started to kind of like see the dynamics of how I was doing certain things and handling the situation, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Because even though it happened, or even though you had no control over the situation, you still have control on how you navigate where you go from there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like it's crazy that even before I got into the accident, I got in a car accident, for those that didn't know, paralyzed instantly, so on and so forth. But even before the accident, my mind was already in a space. I was at PV at this time. Had I had a group of friends, great friends, we're still friends to this day. But I was in that space where I was wanting more. Like, I was wanting to get closer to God. I was tired of always feeling like I had to do something or be somewhere or be lit or, you know what I'm saying, to have fun or be fulfilled in this life. And I was just searching in so many different ways. And it was like the friend group that I had, they were great friends, but they weren't in that spiritual space of yearning what I was yearning. And so, like, it kind of kept me. And I kept me just like right here on that surface that we were talking about, and just very unfulfilled. So when God did this, he was creating a brand new thing and pretty much sitting me down to push me to focus more on the desires that I already been praying to him about, but just in a way that I can't escape it.
Yeah.
Like
Ooh.
I can't escape the process no more.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
Ugh. That's so good, because that's something that God is actually teaching me too, is to like stop trying to get there sooner.
Oh my God.
Stop trying to get there sooner. And it's
because we think we got all these ways.
Yes. And it's like, we have to remember, like, when God be like, his thoughts is not our thoughts and his ways is not our ways, it really helps out with deconstructing what you thought what your plan was. Because, oh, honey, when I say it's before your accident, 9 months before her accident, I was in a car accident.
Yes.
And literally they told me that, long story short, that I wouldn't be able to walk again if I don't get surgery. And I thank God for praying mothers and fathers, because my daddy was completely against that. Like, no, we don't receive that in the name of Jesus. But, appreciate the report type stuff, you know?
Of course.
And
that's your job.
Because that's your job, yeah. And so it took me off from 9 months. Like, I had to, like how you were, sis, I had to learn how to walk again. I had to learn how to do all of these things. I had to learn how to, like, start over. And it's frustrating starting over. Yeah. But you know what's beautiful about that is, like, yes, it was a start over physically for me, but it was a start over spiritually for me. Oh. Girl, it was a start over spiritually for me. So I wasn't able to even see relationships the same and friendships. And let's not talk about men. Oh, baby, I wasn't even able to see men the same. Like,
instantaneously?
No. In the process.
Okay.
In the process. Definitely not instantaneously. Yeah. Because that first night... Baby, that
definitely
first night,
some growing pains.
Oh yeah, that first night I was mad at. Can we talk about being mad at God?
Let's get into it. You go first.
Okay, because I was like, either you or me, it don't matter.
No, y'all. When I tell y'all, I used to think that it was just so, like, not okay to even say that or even feel that. So I would, like, hold those desires in, and they would show and manifest in my actions. Yeah. Just because I'm not saying I'm mad, I'm doing the exact opposite thing that you told me to do. Yeah. Because I feel like, what's the point? Yeah. Like, you're doing all these things that I have no control over, that I don't even in the moment know how to overcome, and you're making me hold your hand and come to you for everything. And it's just like, I'm by myself. I'm around people that are not even hearing or speaking or understanding the language that I'm reconstructing within my mind. And it's like, sometimes I look at myself and I don't even know who I am. Like, the things that I'm saying, the things that I'm thinking, the things that I'm feeling is like, who is this person? Yes, it's the person that I admire, but it's so unfamiliar to the things in which my body has been used to, my flesh. So I'm like,
oh, girl,
how do I intertwine the two? Who is am I her or am I her? Yeah. You know what I mean? So
that in between.
I was mad at God. I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I still be like frustrated. I ain't gonna say mad, because I've grown to a space where I understand. Yeah. And sometimes I think that when we don't understand something, we kind of revert back to, like, the little kid in us, like,
rebellious or a little bit,
like, you know what I mean,
like how children, like, when they are not understanding why they can't have something, they kind of get upset and they get frustrated, they get mad
and
act out and they actually do the opposite of what you want them to do, because of the fact that they don't get it. And so since they don't get it, the reasoning is a hissy fit, right? You know what I mean?
Because you don't see the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Because he sits high and we sit low. Yeah. So we just don't know what he knows.
And that's just that. So we have to trust. But the thing about it is, like, I love how you were so transparent enough to say, because I think even this can correlate for some people, like, that are like, ooh, and I think this is taught. I want to talk about tradition a little bit, like, where it's taught for you not to question God. It's taught for you not to have feelings and be mad about certain things that is transpiring in your life. And then let's talk about how the flesh is so quick to actually blame God for problems, when it's like, okay, but we got to take a little bit of accountability around here now.
I think you wanted to do that.
Yeah, like,
you had a lot of outs.
You had a lot of outs, yes. Because even, like, with the car accident that I was in, my car accident, I was the reason why the car accident happened the way it happened. Like,
Oh, I was
there
too.
was, oh yeah, it was.
I was in the blame.
I was to blame.
They
but
said I ran a red light. They just put it out there.
Let's just go and tell it like it is.
I didn't see the light. Probably because I was high.
Come on, sis.
I don't know.
And my car accident.
We would never know.
My car accident, I was drinking. So let's be so for real. You know what I mean? Like, that's really what Jesus be like too, when we don't want to take accountability.
A little bit was just natural life happening.
Yes. And then, like, not even just natural life, but like, you know, you had control over this. Like,
had a whole lot of control.
You had, and we're so quick, like, to be so quick to point the finger at God.
Right.
Because, like,
I can drive drunk.
Yeah.
But
I better go and just tell it. Because that's, like, let's be so for real. Now, we say, I'm saying this.
No one's judging here. This is our story.
This is no judgment whatsoever. Please know that. And I thank God that we're even in the position now where we can actually kind of, like, you know, laugh at the things in which God has set us free from. But, like, because I have to say for myself, like, that was something that, you know, was a lifestyle for me. Like, I was working at Bum Shells. If you guys don't know what Bum Shells is, it's kind of like Hooters, but it's like U.S. Army kind of touch on it. I was working at Bum Shells. I was making hand over fist, honey. I was making like $500, $600 a night sometimes.
Right.
Could be more than that. By
Fast money.
men that were coming in there, men that probably were married. Yep. Some of them was, you know, sugar daddies and stuff like that. Let's be so for real. And so for me, that became that fast life, that fast money became a lifestyle for me.
Right.
And drinking and going to work to be in that atmosphere, to try to, and like what you don't realize is that the truest version of who God called you to be, you're trying to dummy it down with, you know, weed, with drinking and stuff like that to fit in this atmosphere.
Right.
And there is a pruning that happens when you're trying to do that, right? Yeah. And so when that takes place, it's difficult to try to manage. And so for me, it was difficult for me to try to manage. And I also, if I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna keep it a stack. I felt like I was untouchable. I ain't gonna hold you.
Hey,
I did. Listen, I thought I was untouchable. I was like, I'm making money. I'm paying my bills. My parents don't have to want for nothing. You know, like, and I was still living with them or whatever. But like, I was
you
still,
really had money.
But I was like helping out if I needed to. You know what I mean? So like, I'm really an independent woman out
here. For sure.
You know what I mean? Psych. But it's the facial expressions for me. But like, no, for real, I really thought I had it all together. And so when all that happened, and that night when I was laying in my bed, and it felt like there was like 9 knives going through my foot, literally.
Ooh,
and it was going on and on and on and on. All those nerves was going nuts. And literally, that whole night I didn't get no rest. And that whole night I was vexed at God. I was angry with God. I was upset with him. And I was mad that he stopped my life. I was mad that he flatlined my life. Oh, God, this is good. I know.
And y'all, it's funny she says that because when I got into my accident in the night that I had to, you know, sleep in the hospital and I'm just in this cold, dark room, I was not mad. I wasn't even sad because I had already knew. I had already knew, like, it was time. Like, where you were finna go,
my God,
it was finna go off.
Yeah.
I had just got my car. I had finally reached that peak of where your parents can't really control what you doing.
Yeah,
so
tell you what you're
that
doing.
Extra freedom.
Yeah.
I had a little side money from different little avenues.
Yeah.
You know, my little check I was getting from college.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was just living this lifestyle of no responsibility and just doing all the detrimental things that everybody else was doing.
Yeah.
But it was finna go times 10 for me. And I think he was just like, nah, it stops here.
Yeah.
Because you either gonna be dead, you gonna be pregnant. And not to say that that's, you know, the pregnancy is just a bad thing.
Yeah.
But for what he had called for me to do, that wasn't my story. And he was just like, it's enough. Like, you don't have the power to stop by yourself.
Yeah.
Because you have the desire.
You high off of your own smoke.
Right. You have the desire, but you're so entangled in this lifestyle. It's so fulfilling. It's so fleshly fun.
Yes.
That what's going to stop you other than me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Child.
Because if you don't see that you the problem, how can you resolve it? You know what I mean? Like, let's be so for real. There is a possibility of you falling in love with your life more than who gives you life.
Oh, even if that's not the life that he gave you,
Yeah.
or destined
Yeah.
for you, or ordained for you to have,
Yeah.
the life that you created. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And don't let you have a little money and feel like you done became economically successful. Oh, you think you really doing something?
Yeah.
You done answered the call.
Now I want to talk about, sis, how did that change? My bad. I want to talk about how did that, after you really went all in with God, how did that change your view of relationships, dating, sex, all of that?
It got to the point where I just was not satisfied with what used to be satisfactory or satisfying.
Yeah.
Whatever that word is.
Yeah.
It just, and like you said, it wasn't instant, but it was an instant feeling though. Like, I may not have conformed to the feeling.
Yeah.
But I knew, like, as I was doing some of the things, or maybe like dabbling into that old lifestyle, it was not fulfilling at all. Like, I was so in my head. I was so like lying to myself, just trying to feel something, because I wasn't ready to go and actually start walking and doing the things that God was calling me to do. Like, he had already told me.
Yeah.
But it's another thing for you to hear.
Yeah.
And then for you to do.
Yeah.
And then once you start doing, it's no going back after that.
It's not.
Like, you can, but it's gonna be such a distinctive difference.
Ugh.
That it's like, what am I doing
You
here?
be like, why are we here?
Why am I here? I feel so empty.
Yeah.
Like, that's not me. It's portraying a person that is not even myself, and people are getting this notion or think they know who you really are because you're dabbling into these certain lifestyles.
Yeah.
But at heart, you're not even being you.
Yeah.
This is not even really who you want to be. And so you have these identity crises, and you're fighting these people and doing these things because they're putting, these labels onto you that aren't you.
Mm-hmm.
But it makes sense because that's what you're showing up as.
Yeah.
And it's just tiring.
It is.
It's so tiring.
Yeah.
I mean, not to say that, doing it God's way is easy, because it's not. But doing the hard things really does make life easier.
Yeah.
Doing the easy things, it just elongates the process.
It really does.
And it makes it so much harder in the end.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I'm tired. Like, I'm getting to that age, and it's just like I'm wanting different things. I'm wanting to live authentically in who I am.
Yeah.
Abundantly, and not be ashamed about it. Like,
period.
I don't know. I ain't gonna lie, I still trip up sometimes. But I be in my head so hard about it, and it's so crazy how God will like redirect me quickly.
Yeah.
Like, it won't even go as planned. Like, I can literally just be trying to plan, like, okay, I'm finna go link up with so-and-so, or, you know what I'm saying, a dude, or whatever the case may be. It will be so many roadblocks to just me getting to the house.
Come on.
Just a simple drive up 67. It will tire flat. I'm not into that. Like, it's
not tire flat.
Tire flat, literally. It's been so many times that I was on my way to do something, or I had went out of my way to do something that I knew I wasn't supposed to be doing, and my tire just went flat. My tire had went flat like 3 times in like a matter of 3 months.
And that's the way God would do?
I would be so upset, because I'm like, why are you channeling in on me? It's so many people doing bad stuff. Why do you care that I get it right so bad? God,
why are you channeling in on me?
I mean, I just felt like he was like, nope, I'm focused right on you. I'm like, LaQuanda over here doing X, Y, and Z, and she is having a ball.
Oh my God.
Baby, I'm at Walmart and still making trying to get a new tire.
You know what? That's so funny, because like, okay, so you say God be channeling in on you. Let me tell y'all. The last time, well, first, just to kind of correlate with what I was asking a question about, when God really got me together and how it changed my view of how I see relationships, how I see dating and stuff like that. Ooh, child, I remember a season where I was, actually like asking God more about who is, my future husband and stuff like that. But at the same time, I had a bond in my head with what was my past. You know what I mean? Ooh, and let's talk about that bond, because we know what that bond is. If you don't know what that bond is a stronghold. So there was a stronghold of this individual that was in my past, and it would constantly play in my mind and replay. Let's talk about the replays, child. It would play in my mind and replay. And so long story short, child, I acted on that replay. And when I acted on that replay, I invited that person over. I was like, come on over, and when I tell you, when God does something new in you, he will expose that newness that he has created in you, that new thing that he's created in you when you revert back to your old thing.
For sure.
Oh, yeah. Because
and it's loud.
And it's so loud, you actually get uncomfortable with the idea of the fact that you're in the situation that you just planted yourself into.
You're in your mind trying to get out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, you fully really agreed to be here.
Yeah, but you
the minute you get there.
Yes, and it's like an uncomfortability in your spirit, man. That's like, And then like the sad part about it is it does a disservice to the individual because they're expecting the old version of you.
For sure.
And you no longer that version no more. And I remember when this individual came over to my house, and I remember, y'all, I was just actually disgusted with me.
That's the word.
I was disgusted, baby. I was disgusted.
That is the word.
Not with the individual, with myself.
For sure.
Like, let's be so for real. Like, don't get me wrong. I know my facial expression probably said something different, but like, I wasn't disgusted with that individual because they're only where they are because that's what they know.
Right.
So my revelation, your revelation, that's two different things. But what God spoke to me about in private, I'm now seeing it come to fruition in my now.
Real time.
And so I was so disgusted with myself, y'all. I was disgusted with the situation I was in. And I had to go full throttle. Now I'm here. Like I had to go full throttle. I was there. You know what I mean? Like
right.
I couldn't. And in that moment, it wasn't like God was tunnel vision on me. He was like, yep, you put yourself in.
Little stupid self. Can't even enjoy it.
He like, you put yourself in this situation, so you gonna get yourself right on out this situation,
no,
one of the way. And so that was that.
Did
that
you get
for
out?
Me. Oh, yeah.
Eventually,
I got out, but baby, I was upset. I ain't gonna hold you. It was so many things that was embarrassing that went wrong. It was so many things. It was like. Whoa, like
yeah.
I realized like that my whole caliber of like even the type of men that I'm interested in had switched.
Changed.
I
Dramatically.
was like, whoa.
Because what used to be your type?
Ooh, child. We got no time.
Right,
no, we got
really
no
don't.
time.
That's
okay.
crazy.
We got 9 minutes.
Right.
Okay, what you said? We gonna get into it.
Yeah, come on. We gonna get into it.
You gonna what's
y'all, I ain't gonna lie. My type, yeah, and it's so like cliche. Cause you know, we all like bad boys. But I wanted a bad boy that knew God. You know what I mean? Like that was like protector, you know, cool or whatever, but could still come and pray with me. And it was like I was trying to change the people that I was attracting.
Yeah.
To, you know, kind of fit this new lifestyle that I was going into. And they was like, oh, okay, like they heard different things that I'll be saying. But they like, Chop, I ain't chose that life.
Yeah.
I'm over here. Baby, when you met me, I was selling.
But then, like, even the contradictory in it, like, I want a bad boy.
I want a street nigga.
I want a bad boy that know how to pray.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? But like,
but I ain't never prayed.
But it's like you.
But when he get with me.
But yeah.
He gon'
like, oh yeah.
Cause my influence is just godly. But I'm over here trying to. I mean, we just doing all type of stuff, and then in the morning I want to pray.
Yeah.
It's like, girl, go make me some breakfast.
And I'm not. This ain't no shade, baby, to anybody that's living that lifestyle. Please no.
Yeah.
This ain't no shade. But it just it's contradicting.
It's
like
so
you
contradicting.
you can't say you want the man in the church, but then you want dude that's passing out what's going on over there on the street.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, or the bad boy, like, and then you want him to treat you like a man of God, but then he treating you like this because of the title that you asked for.
Exactly.
And see, for me, my type was my type. I ain't gonna hold you. It first started out pretty boy. It started out, I was a sucker for him.
My God. Love her a pretty boy that was in them feelings. Lord. I ain't gonna say his name.
Oh, please don't.
Oh, no. No, ma'am. I won't slip up on that one.
Slow down. But no,
I remember Valentine's Day. The biggest bag.
If y'all want to know what happened, y'all just have to stay for another episode.
No, okay,
if sis invite me again, you tell me come
for
again.
sure.
Okay.
She'll be back.
Then we'll talk about romance and stuff like that. We'll say that for another. That's a whole nother
segment.
Baby, but I ain't gonna hold you. He let it be known.
He did. I mean,
baby, he let it be known. Baby,
this was 9th grade. 10th grade.
Yup.
Little.
Yup.
Young.
But honestly, truth be told, he was doing stuff that men even today should be applying pressure on.
Because when a man knows what he wants,
he know what he want. He know what he wants.
It's not gonna be any confusion.
No.
Clarity is gonna be so clear.
Yeah, it was crisp. And he made that known, baby.
It was overly.
I ain't gonna hold you. Wasn't nobody in the school getting what I was
getting. It could have been overbearing.
It turned out overbearing. But unfortunately.
Yeah, but
Jess was like, whoa. But
and
she wasn't.
The whole time I'm like, oh, my nigga don't never do that. God, dog.
You wasn't the only one. It was my friends was saying that. They was like,
we going through the bag like, dog. I have never. Daddy the only one that got me this. Baby.
Let's just say I went for the pretty boys. Not my shirt getting all the time, champ.
You did. You loved you a pretty boy.
I love me a pretty boy, y'all. And now, child. Times have brought about a change.
Are you dating?
God ain't released me today. Baby, God ain't released me today.
And I think God.
And it's honestly just.
And
like,
I really feel the same. I feel that he's doing it, and I'm just like. Oh. I'm trying to force it.
You like, come on, God.
I'm like, I am a good woman today. Now, somebody needs to see this. And you like, girl, you just got here. Hold on. Let's create some stamina, some stability.
Oh my gosh. But see, my thing is like, a reason why I say God hasn't released me today. Okay. The reason why I say God hasn't released me today is because I do think it's imperative for God to orchestrate, because I've done everything wrong. I've had it wrong after wrong after wrong. And I've fallen for the okie doke. And let's be clear, not every church man is.
Please don't fall victim. Just because you made him at the altar.
That
does
do
not
mean that's your husband. Okay, and please, by all means, keep yourself together if you can.
Yeah.
Read between the lines.
Yes.
But
don't be weak in the knees.
I'm just I'm not weak in the knees no more. And so until God released me, it's been moments where God has even told me like to pray over my husband.
Mm-hmm.
So I know like that God is preparing him. And if he ever see this video, I just want to even shout him out now, because, baby, I can't wait to be the queen in your life and you be the king in my life. And we conquer together and do all things through Christ. And that's just that on that. And please know I'm going to always nurture you and love you the way that God desires for me to do so, and submit to you by submitting to the Father first. And that's just that on that. But right now, God has not released me today.
And that's for you too, babe. But keep going. Because we got like 3 minutes.
We got like 3 minutes yet. Yeah.
Ooh, we could do this all day.
Literally.
Oh my God, y'all. This is so funny.
I'm excited.
I am too,
though.
But yeah.
I know.
I don't even know if we should go into anything else right now, because
it'll roll into something else.
It will. But my sis will be back on the next episode. So y'all please stay tuned to part 2.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
And follow me on YouTube, y'all. I have my own YouTube channel. It's called Spending Time with Jesus on YouTube. So follow me on there. As well as my Instagram.
You need to be there. I'm so for real. Like, when I tell y'all this is the woman that literally made me more interested in what God had for me.
I love you.
Like, I just wouldn't, like, I needed to see it from somebody that I knew, that I ran the streets with, that I was close to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we see it in
out the
Sarah
mud,
Jakes,
yeah.
and we see it in all these different women. But it's like, if God can do it in her,
yeah,
okay, he can for sure do it in me too.
And that's just
and I just need to choose. I just need to choose him.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited for what this podcast is going to birth.
Me too.
I don't have no plans. I'm literally just praying and going.
Yeah.
And whatever
Walking by faith.
God is leading me to do, that's what I'm doing. And I want to invite more women on here that are in alignment spiritually for us to have more conversations, real conversations, but ultimately conversations that lead us back to our maker, our God, because that is the whole reason that we're here.
Period.
So I'm just so happy that you were here, sis.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have had nobody else for my first guest. It was a no-brainer.
Period.
Literally. I love you so much.
And I want you to be my first guest on my podcast,
oh my
too.
God.
We'll talk about it.
Okay,
I really do. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, y'all, we're going to wrap up. Probably catch up a little bit more off
Don't
camera.
forget to like, comment, and subscribe, okay?
Oh,
period.
that part. Y'all see,
Don't forget to share this video.
She has to get me used to doing all these things. She's been having like YouTube and channels and all these things for a few years. I'm just getting into it, baby. I was just finna cut. I wasn't finna say follow, subscribe, nothing. Like, y'all, follow the Unveiling Jess on YouTube.
Period.
Follow me on Instagram, Unveiling Jess as well.
Yes.
And this will be on Spotify, and the visual will be on YouTube as well. So y'all just follow us and stay tuned.
Yes, authentically_Ashley.
Yes.
Period.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
That was so good.
It was so
Oh my gosh. I
good.
feel like we was on the front porch.